All right, Armen, let's do the PEDs. I just have the impression he didn't do them. I think he respects the game too much. He made sure he helped you with doctor information and waived his patient doctor quiet act to make sure you had the details that you wanted. I know the doctor that he worked with has got a PED history, the Gallo up there in Canada, but I'm going to believe him. I don't think he did it. You worked on it. Let me hear.
Well, let's just start with the suspicions. I mean, certainly there were people on the PGA Tour. There was a survey done. I think 71 tour pros, 24 of them said they believed that they suspected that Tiger was using performance-enhancing drugs. And then you have this really unusual string of ligament, tendon, muscle injuries that are unique to Tiger and not normal in golf. So those were the warning signs. So what we did was really was looked at the relationship that he had with two guys, Dr. Tony Gallia, who's the Toronto doctor, and Dr. Mark Lindsay, who's the chiropractor. Gallia and Lindsay were known as the miracle workers. Mark, who would work on you and do active release techniques, which would bring the body really into alignment. Gallia is really the wild card here, and we do say in the book, from a source who we wouldn't be in there if we didn't believe it, is that when Tiger was injured in 2008, when he went to Gallia, and it's very deeply reported, so I'm paraphrasing here, that there were injections in this so-called cocktail of healing that Gallia was famous for that contained minuscule amounts of testosterone and HGH to accelerate the healing in Tiger's knee. So minuscule they would have been out of Tiger's body almost immediately and within a 24-hour period. And it's questionable, as our source described it, whether Tiger even knew in that injection that HGH and testosterone were part of it. So then you move from there to the bigger question of PEDs and testosterone as part of his workout regimen and his recovery regimen. Mark Lindsay, who is a world-renowned chiropractor who worked on Olympic athletes and for 8 different Olympics, in his declaration, where Tiger allowed him to waive the doctor-patient privilege, said that I have worked on athletes all around the world. I know what an athlete who uses testosterone, their bodies feel like. It's very tactile. And he said in this 4-page declaration that ends this chapter, which is very powerful, it's the most authoritative and the most definitive statement to date yet on Tiger Woods. He said, I never felt it in Tiger's body.
Ever. Do we trust this guy? I mean,
yes,
obviously
I've known Mark for a long time.
He's Tiger's doctor. He's not going to go nail Tiger, but you trust him.
Yeah, I do. And I've known Mark since 2000. I've known him for about 18 years.
So he
might lie to me, but he put it on the... He drew a line in the sand in this book that no one that's this close to Tiger has ever drawn.
Yeah, Chris, I feel very comfortable saying that I don't think he...
Nor do I.
I don't think he used PEDs, and I think it diminishes, frankly, it takes away and ignores what this guy has done to put himself in the condition he's in. It's not because he was cheating and using something. This guy trains differently than everybody else. He's motivated by things that don't motivate other people. Nobody works out like Tiger Woods.
Navy SEAL, the whole bit.
Yeah, I mean, I think that... It's like you're ignoring all that to think that he was somehow getting some advantage. And I think the fact that Mark Lindsay, the reason this mattered so much to Armen and I is because nobody would know more than Mark. I mean, he had his hands all over Tiger's body more than anybody.
For hundreds of hours between August of 2008 and October of 2009. Nobody was that close to Tiger.
And it's not in his... People might say, well, he could just say that because he's... No.
That's what I would say.
His reputation goes way beyond Tiger. He works for lots of athletes.
So you trust the guy, and he said no way.
Absolutely.
All right, now... A minute and a half. A closing statement from the both of you, and we could go on forever. It's unfortunate we can't. In the last 50 pages, the tone of the book changes, where it's a little bit more of a favorable look at Tiger. You feel a little sorry for him with all the back surgeries. He turns out to be a pretty good father. Do you like Tiger after spending 3 years of your life covering him?
I like him now. I do. I didn't like him for about 300 of the pages, but that's the life that he led, and we tried to be as honest and answer the question, who is Tiger Woods? And I think this book does it, unlike any other book that's ever been written about him. But I find I'm much more empathetic to Tiger than I've ever been, and I think he's in the best shape physically, emotionally, and spiritually that he's ever been in his 42 years.
Jeff, do you think he would like the book? Do you think he'd like the honesty of it, or you think he would never talk to you again because you wrote it?
I don't know, Chris. Would he like it? I don't know. There's a lot of things in there to like if you're Tiger Woods. There's things that if it were me, I wouldn't want written about me. I mean, getting a biography written about you is not pleasant for anybody if you're writing really honestly, and that's what we tried to do. But our goal was not to embarrass in any way. I'm agnostic towards Tiger Woods when I start working on this book because, unlike Armen, I'm not a golf fan. I didn't really have an opinion about him one way or the other. The further we got into it, I have to tell you, the more I felt like I was understanding this guy. And the more you understand him, it's easy to understand why he is great and why some of the things we talked about are real.
Sell 1 million of them, both of you. Armen,
thanks, Chris.
You got it, pal. Jeff,
Thank you.
Great job. We'll see you tomorrow, folks. That's a hell of an hour there on Tiger Woods. Good job out of our good buddies today, Colin Schmeling and Eddie Erickson. We'll see you tomorrow at 3. Championship game. Adios.